databases for that as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if anyone else hasn't had a chance to put their program focus in the chat, you can go ahead and do that at any time. So like I said, I'm Anna Sarneso. I'm the library director here at Brennan Library. I'm so excited to be talking with you guys tonight and giving you a introduction to the library and library services. And I just want to let you know that we are here to help you guys. We got very adept at virtual services. So if you're, entirely online and you don't live near LaSalle, all of our research librarians are very happy to Zoom with you or do work over the phone or email. So, that is not a problem for us. We're very happy to meet with you. So please reach out with any questions at any point during your time at LaSalle. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over library resources using the library website as a jumping off point, because I want you guys to be really familiar with how to use the website, as that is the best way to not only access our resources, but also contact us. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I'm going to start on My LaSalle, because one of the first questions you might have is, well, how do I even get to the library website? And the best way to go is on the My LaSalle quick links. It's right there as library, but also, and I'm going to put this in the chat, our little shortcut is www.lasalle.edu/library. So either way, you can go from My LaSalle or you can go from that shortcut. And I'm just going to make this full screen. Okay, so when you're on the library website, a few really key things. One, we have our hours. So if you're trying to reach us on a Saturday, these hours will say we close at 5 p.m. We have shorter hours on the weekends. We don't open until noon on Sunday, and we close at midnight like we do today. So that's just something to help you guys. Obviously, you're more than welcome to come in person, but even if you aren't, if you're planning on just calling us or emailing, it's just good for you to know the hours to know if you'll be able to catch a person there or not. This is right under that is laser search. This searches almost all of the library resources. This is where I always suggest people start their research, just especially if they want to do a general search for databases before they really dive in. And that's why we put it front and center. So if you kind of forget how to get to all the other databases I'm going to show you tonight, and you remember how to get to laser search and do a search here, you're going to be in really great shape. But we have all of our other databases here on our database page. I'm going to show you that in a second. And we have research guides, which highlight the best resources for each subject or major or program. So those are going to be really helpful for you as well. And then the other thing that's going to be really great for you guys on this website is this chat with the librarian button. So if that's green, you can click on it and you can send a chat and we'll answer you. If no one is there, it'll say ask a librarian, and you can send like a ticket that goes into our system, and the next person that's in will answer it in the morning. So if you send something, at 3 a.m., we'll answer you at 7:30 a.m. So pretty good. And then also our contact information. I just want to make sure you see this. So here's our phone number and here's our email, library@lasalle.edu. I'm also going to put that in the chat. I think that's really important for everyone to know. If you only remember one thing from this session, but it's that you can email library@lasalle.edu. That's the best thing to remember, because that's a really great way to get in contact with us. And all of the librarians run that email account. So, you can obviously email me, but if I'm out for the day or I'm in a meeting, you're not going to get as fast of a response as if you email that, because someone is watching that at all times during the day. So what I want to talk to you about is how you can use the library to help you with your research for your classes, which I think is why most of you are here. And the two places where you're going to find the most research help are on these two buttons, the databases and the research guides. But if you go to the side here, you can see all the different things we have for research help. And one of them is, of course, these the databases and the research guides. We have those here as well. But we also have a page that describes all of our remote library resources. And that'll just tell you all of the things I'm going to go over in this session. So if you want to know more about that, we have a page where you can request a book or article that we don't have in our library. We have a link to our Minuteman Library Network. I'm not going to focus on that as much because it's our print collection, and we unfortunately don't mail to patrons. So if you're not in the area, you won't be able to take advantage of that. And then you can also search all of our journals. So when you're trying to get a little bit more in depth into your research and you're maybe not finding anything on the research guides or the database list, you can also come over here and do a journal title search. And one thing I want to show you before we get started and we dive in are these tutorials. So again, I'm on this research help dropdown, and then I'm clicking on tutorials. And here we have a list of tutorials for every resource that we think can be helpful for you. So we have videos on how to access our databases, how to search them, and how to refine your search results. We have click-through tutorials on how to choose a database and how to search a database. These are things we're going to go over tonight, and you can obviously rewatch this recording. It's being recorded, but if you wanted a tutorial about it, you could also go to either of these. We have discussions of scholarly articles, how to use our interlibrary loan, how to use the laser search that I'm going to show you, how to use a couple other databases we have, and how to use our research guides. So again, I think that this is just a really great resource. I'm just going to show you how I got to it again, because I know that I've been giving you a lot of information already. So it's research help and then tutorials. And I'll just click on one to show you what it looks like. So this one is going to show you how to search our library databases. And it just gives you information. It shows you where you are. And then when you click through the slides, it's going to show you how to go through searching our databases. So I'm going to stop screen sharing for a second since I've shown you kind of some basics of the library website. I just want to give you a quick overview of what you can expect from our session today. So today, we've already gone on the library website. I showed you the contact information, which is really important, the hours, and then all of those linked to the databases, the research guides, and the tutorials. What we're going to do for the rest of the session is I'm going to take you through some searching tips on a couple databases and go over what the research guides look like. That's going to take about 15 minutes, and then I want to leave time for questions at the end about anything I didn't cover. But if you have any questions throughout this, please don't hesitate to ask. You can either unmute yourself and ask, interrupt me if you want, or you can put it in the chat if that's more helpful to you. So we're gonna go back to the library website and we're gonna do some searching. So I'm just gonna screen share again. So if you wanted to search on student success, which is always what I start my searches on, because that's what I do research on a lot. Again, the first place where you could do it is laser search, because this is, hold on, I keep forgetting to extend that. This is where we have most of our databases and journals in laser search. So you get a lot of information. Now, you'll see that this is transferring me to the database. What that's doing is it's authenticating me to make sure that I'm a LaSalle user. And it went through without a problem. And that's because I've already logged on to my email. It uses the same sign-on as our email and Canvas. So if you access the database after you've logged into your email or Canvas, you won't have a problem getting on. If it's the first thing you go to in the day, it's going to give you that My LaSalle sign-on screen where you have to sign on. And that's just to make sure that you're a LaSalle user. But as long as you are able to sign into your email and Canvas, you'll have no problem signing into our databases. So as you can see here, I got 504 results, which is just too many, right? So what I need to do is refine this. And I'm going to do that in a couple of ways. And the first one is I'm going to put quotation marks around student success, because that's what that's going to do is make sure it's only looking for those two words right beside each other. Otherwise, it would pull up anything that had student or success in it. And as you can see, it went down to 46,000 from 500,000. So that was already a really great trick. So if you're searching like human resources or criminal justice or violence prevention, put those little phrases, like 2 or more words as a phrase, put those in quotes, and that's going to help you get even more specific results right off the bat. And then what I like to do is I like to look at these limiters. So one that you're probably always going to want to click right away is peer reviewed. As you guys know, peer reviewed sources are ones that are evaluated by experts in the field to make sure that the information in them is accurate, that the methodologies are sound, that the sources are cited. So these are scholarly journal articles. You're going to want to just click on that. And then you can make sure that what you're finding is peer reviewed. And then the next thing that I suggest is making sure you're changing the publication date that you're looking in. Most of you are doing research, you want it to be really current in the field. A lot of professors might suggest 5 years, unless it's a foundational text. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to do 2016 here, and we'll just do 2016 to 2021. So again, now we've narrowed our results down to 8,210. The next thing I want to look at is format. So I'm not interested in reports or reviews or even books at this point. I'm only interested in academic journal articles, which I know will be peer reviewed because I already clicked on that button. And now I'm down to 7,900. And then there's even more that you can use. I'm not going to refine any further because honestly, I'm not actually doing a research project, so I wouldn't want to do it by subject right now, but you could do, higher education. You could do it if you do show more, and you can pick as many of these as you want. Maybe I was looking at only community colleges. Maybe I did want to look at academic libraries. So this is a good way to do even more refining. I usually say, why don't you try to get to as many pages as you could actually click through. And that's definitely going to be under 500 results. But like I said, I just want to show you some, tools to use right now. So we're not going to keep narrowing down, but you can also do it by language or by what database it's coming from, if that's of interest to you. So the next thing you want to do is look at the articles that you're interested in. And what I always suggest people do, hold on, I want to make sure you can see my top here, is I always suggest that people add them to a folder and then email themselves the folder results at the end of their searching. Because although the librarians can help you get back articles that you didn't, save or download, it can be a little challenging. So I think that that's the best way to make sure you don't lose any of your good hard work searching. So I am interested in this article, exploring differences in psychological well-being in university student success. So I'm just going to click on the folder to add it to my folder. And I'm also interested in this article on proactive student success coaching. So I'm going to add that one to my folder. I'm interested in this techno one on student success. And I'm interested in this key e-portfolio one. So now that I've added all of those to my folder, and I'll show you your folders up here. If this was all I had time to do today, I could go to this folder. I could kind of review them really quickly in here. Oh, and I'm so sorry, I have extra things in my folder because I never emptied it from the last time I did this with someone. And then I could email them all to myself. So if I had emptied those previous ones out, I would only have the 4. And then I would just put my own email in here. I would probably put a little subject to myself. And then I could send myself these articles. And what it would send would be the full text if they had it, a PDF attachment if they had it, but also the citation So if you're doing APA citation, do that and it's going to email you your citation. You obviously have to double check them to make sure they're correct. Sometimes they do weird things with capitalization. Sometimes they put email addresses in beside the names, but this is a really great jump start for you on your citation. So that's a trick I love to give people. And it's just going to give you all the information about that site, about that article, so that you can get back to your search when you have more time. So again, that's the best way, I think, to do your searching. Always be adding them to your folder. So you just have them there, so you can just feel like really organized about that. So let's say that you were interested in this article, the effects of offering proactive student success coaching on community college students. You'd want to click on that link. And then from here, you can do a few things. You can read the abstract to see if this article is actually something you're interested in. And if it is, again, you can email yourself just this one article. You can add it to your Google Drive, and you can also grab the citation right here. If you're using APA, you could just do that. You can also grab the permalink, which is a link that's not going to expire. If you ever just try to grab the link from your toolbar here, that's going to get you in trouble because that's a time search link. So if you don't want to use the folder like I'm suggesting and you just want to get a list of links, you always want to make sure you're grabbing this permalink, which again is from the side here. But if you want to read the article right now, which you're probably thinking, Anna, why haven't you shown me how to read the article right now? That's on the left-hand side. So this one is available in HTML full text. And so I would just click on it, and then the article would be here. And I could jump to, if I wanted to jump to the method section, I could jump right there, and it would show me that in this HTML full text. And then I just want to show you a couple other records to show you how else you might be able to access your article. So this one, if I was interested in it, I would click on it in the same way, and you would see the same tools on the side to email it to yourself, to add it to your Google Drive, to cite it, or grab the permalink. I could read the abstract, but here instead of HTML full text, it's full text from Eric, which is a database. And what I would do is I click on that, it bring me here, and I would download the full text here. So sometimes you just have to follow the links where they want to take you. Oftentimes, and I'm not seeing it, here's one. There's also a PDF full text, which I think is kind of the cleanest version. So you can click on this, and then you can download the PDF right onto your computer or to your OneDrive account. Maybe you have a Google Drive you like to use. And then the last way that you can access the article is through interlibrary loan. And that means that we don't have the article ourselves, but we can get it for you from another library. And so if you click on this, you just have to put in your name and your email. You'll want to change that to graduate, and you hit submit. It's really easy to do. So if you can't have the access right away, don't be scared off by that. Sorry that showed up. Because the way Interlibrary for Article works is they email the articles to us and then we email them to you. So it takes, like a day, 2 days sometimes. Our interlibrary librarian Deb is really fast at interlibrary loan. So you're going to get those articles nearly immediately. So again, just as a reminder, when you're doing your searches for phrases, you want to put quotation marks around them. You want to be looking here to see how you can filter your results. And then when you click on an article you're interested in, you have these tools on the side page. And then under this detailed record, you have how you can access the article. So I'm going to take you back home to the library website. And I'm going to show you 2 more things before we move on to questions. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time. So one is our database list. And I want to make sure that you know that we have other databases, not just laser search, that can just give you a more specific search. So the nice thing about them is they all kind of look the same. So we don't have to go into too much detail on how to search them. but you can click on these subjects to see more databases. So one that I love for business is called Business Source Complete, and that's just going to show you only business results. So this is great for the hospitality and events management people. This is great for people who are doing human resources, marketing, and I'm sure it looks familiar. It looks like laser search. It's just going to have more refined results. It's going to have company information. It's going to have case studies. So this is a great place to start your search, and you're going to be able to do the filtering the exact same way, but it's just going to be a little bit more refined for you already. You're not going to have to start with those 500 and 4,000 results. And similar, since I know we have someone in psychology, if you go to this humanities, education, justice, and social sciences, sorry, that's so wordy, but we divided these up by schools. One that's going to be great for you is Psych Info. So Psych Info for criminal justice is going to have a lot of those articles that I know you'll be looking for. And again, it's going to look the same, but it's going to have really great limiters. You're going to be able to limit by like participant age. You're going to be able to limit by methodologies and just things that are going to really get to the heart of the research that you're specifically doing. And so that was on our database page, which is right here. And there's also a link to it in this research help section that I showed you earlier. It's the top link. And again, so you can also go and do journal title searches. That's if you know you want like a really specific journal. We're not going to go over the catalog. The remote services is mostly talking about what we can provide for you, which we're going over. This requested book or article is that interlibrary loan form I showed you. We talked about the tutorials, and now we're going to talk about research guides, which is also this button here, but it's right there on the side link. We have a choice because it's so important. And our research guides we have here, they are just in alphabetical order. So you can scroll until you see your field. But what these are going to do is they're going to highlight the best databases, the best ebooks, the best journals for you. So if you're doing criminal justice, you can click on this. It's going to show you some great relevant databases, some specialized databases, some specific ebooks that you might be interested in, and then it has its own laser search bar. It also has information on peer-reviewed journal articles, how to write a literature review. It has more ebooks on it because we have such a great collection of ebooks. We really like to promote that as well. So that's just this is a sample of our research guides. And they're just going to be quick links to these different databases that we think can be really helpful in addition to laser search. And it also shows you the librarian to contact. This is Jill Shoemaker. She's our research librarian. She's going to be on most of these guides, and you can feel free to always reach out to her. She loves helping students with their research. So I'm going to click on research guides again. And another guide we have, in addition to the subject guides, is we have one specifically for graduate students. So if you're just feeling really lost and you're not finding what you need, you can of course always call us, but we also have this graduate study at LaSalle library guide. So this is just gonna kind of go over so many of the things that I've been telling you about. It has laser search. It has some other databases that you might be interested in based on the programs you're in. And it's just a lot of what I've already mentioned, but in one research guide. So again, all of our research guides are in alphabetical order, but there's you can look for your subject or you can look for graduate students. I know this is a lot of information in a short amount of time. I'm going to stop sharing now to see if anyone has any questions. Does anyone have any questions?